Hey, welcome to Ask Nutritionist Deepa's whole food plant-based no oil recipe segments. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make baby eggplant curry, which is also called as bagara bangan or bharli wangi. And I am using the beautiful, very fresh eggplant, small eggplants from the Jepson produce, which has been delivering very fresh ethnic vegetables to my doorsteps. So nothing like it. And enjoy the recipe. And again, I'm using baby eggplants from Jepson Produce to make this creamy, nutty, yummy, nutritious eggplant curry without any oil. So enjoy. Are you in the mood to eat creamy, yummy curry? Well, hang in here with me because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make today a creamy, nutty, bursting with flavor eggplant curry, but without using any oil. Okay, so hang in here with me. And this particular cooking technique where we don't use any oil is becoming very popular because in general we get plenty of oil in our diet from eating some already prepared foods or through nuts and seeds and coconut and some other like hazelnut flaxseed, chia seeds. So there's really no need for us to use the concentrated, highly processed cooking oils in our cooking. So to get started, let's look at some of the ingredients and what I'm going to do. But just to save some time, I'm going to first start stir frying using without any oil, just these plain eggplants. Okay, these eggplants have been cut into these smaller pieces, and I'm going to cook them halfway through before I put them in the curry, just to add more flavor to them, because these eggplant pieces are like sponge. They are going to absorb any flavor, any masala or spice that we throw them in. And just to get the process going, I'm going to the goal here is to make sure that the skillet is very hot. Okay, it's not as hot as I would like it to be, so I'm going to wait for 30 seconds to make it hot. But while the skillet is being warmed up, I'm quickly going to go over some of the spices I'm going to use, because when you're making no oil or no sugar, any of those type of dishes, we have to ride on the flavor. Okay, the dish really gets its flavor from all the herbs and spices we use, and that's why you are not going to miss any oil. So in here I have some coriander powder, I have a little bit of fenugreek powder, this is our good old turmeric, cayenne, a little bit of cinnamon powder, and some cumin powder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 spices. And there are 7, 8, 9, 9 total spices. I'm going to show you my next bowl of spices. So these are the powdered spices which are going to go in there. Again, it's coriander, cumin, cayenne, turmeric, dash of fenugreek, and cinnamon. I'm going to write this recipe, so there will be a link in the bio for the recipe. So just focus on the technique, because I really want people to understand the technique of how to cook without oil. All right, so we have our spices down. Then some of the whole spices that we are going to use are these cardamoms, black pepper, and clove. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it, but basically I have 3, 4 cardamom, 4, 5 black pepper, black peppercorn, and 4 cloves. Okay, then what else? This is getting there. Okay, then to make the gravy or our creamy gravy, I have peanuts and some toasted coconut. Peanuts are also roasted, and I have some sesame seeds. Okay, now this particular style of curry is not your typical curry with garam masala. It is, this type of curry is curry or gravy, I should say, is very popular in southern Indian cooking. I'm just spinning it off to make it easy for us. And then another interesting ingredient that goes into this curry is some tamarind juice or tamarind pulp. So I have been soaking some dry tamarind for hour or so, and I have a nice pulpy uh, thick mixture of tamarind here. And another trick for making the gravies without any oil is to have a nice base of some onion, garlic, and ginger. So I have already uh, turned or made a paste of raw onion, raw garlic, and raw ginger. And this paste is really going to give that curry a very nice base and flavor. Okay, so I'm the skillet appears hot right now, and well, we'll see. It needs to sizzle. It's still not sizzling, so I'm quickly going to increase the heat and wait, because having that sizzle is extremely important. That's because if you put your vegetables, and that's true for any kind of vegetable which you are going to stir fry, if you put your vegetables in the warm skillet, then it's going to stick. Hot skillet is really going to help your vegetables not to stick. Okay, but you have to be careful because we are going to stir fry it, and as we are stirring, we are going to sprinkle with some vegetable broth. I have some organic vegetable broth. Many times what I do is I also add spices to this broth, okay, and use that to while stir frying the vegetables. So if I were just doing, let's say, eggplant and potato stir fry, then I would have infused my broth with all those spices when I'm stir frying. But since we are using so many spices in the curry mix that I don't need to add any extra flavor or any extra spices to this while I'm stirring the eggplants. Okay, now I can feel the heat. All right. Okay. If you guys can hear it. Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to keep stirring this eggplant. Like I said, there was absolutely nothing in that skillet. Just warmed up, heat up skillet. One eggplant was overboard. Got it back in. The advantage of making or following no added oil-based diet, I should say, is that oil is very inflammatory. Okay, if you or somebody in your family has any kind of blockage in their arteries or dealing with any kind of cardiovascular disease, including blood pressure, then you want to be careful, because what oil does is it affects the endothelial cells, which means the inside layer of your arteries. And starts the injury. And once your blood vessel starts to have injury, then that's where the blockage of your arteries start. Okay, so that being said, people ask, oh, don't we need fat in our diet? Well, of course we need fat in our diet, but we get plenty of fat, or you will get plenty of fat if you are going to eat chia seeds, different kinds of nuts, flax seeds, so on and so forth. Okay, so As you guys can see, if you can see it properly, but the eggplants have shrunk quite a bit and nothing is sticking to the bottom, right? And that's exactly how we want it. Now, just to infuse these eggplant pieces, I'm going to sprinkle it with the vegetable broth, like I was saying. Oh boy. And eggplant is literally swallows this liquid because eggplant pieces are like a sponge. I really like to play around with eggplant. There's so many eggplant recipes one can do. I'm going to do more eggplant recipes probably in spring, late summer next year, because the community garden that I'm part of, we grow a lot of eggplants. Okay, now I'm going to go through it one more time just to make sure that all these pieces are properly covered with the broth, right? Okay, now we are going to remove these eggplants from the skillet. I'm going to put it back in the container. You know what? I don't want to use plastic container to store something hard. So how about I use a nice bowl? Okay, perfect. I have lowered the heat here. Okay. And I'm going to remove this eggplant in this bowl because now we are going to start making our curry base. Okay. Now at this point, you can use this eggplant in variety of different recipes. You can use this in a salad. You can stir fry it with other vegetable. That's fine. So you don't have to use this entire eggplant for the curry. But this is going to be a nice, creamy, yummy, spicy. As you know, I love spicy food, curry, so I'm just going to use it all in my curry. Okay, so I have this eggplant, which is, as you can see, is not stir fried with any oil. It was basically, I just infused it with the vegetable broth. So I have that. And now, remember I was telling you that I have already made a paste with onion, garlic, and ginger. Now it's time for this paste to go in the skillet. Okay. Now at this point, the heat is not very high. Now you don't really need very high heat. In fact, what you need is low heat, low to medium, because you want this onion and garlic paste to really come together and cook well. Okay, so it's going to hang in here for a couple of minutes. In 1 minute, I'm going to move this stuff here so that you guys can see it. But as this onion and garlic is being cooked and coming together, I am going to grind our creamy sauce ingredients. Like I was saying, I have peanuts and I have some coconut, which is going to go in this blender here. I have some sesame seeds, which are being toasted. I toast my sesame seeds in the oven. So I just have this cute little cast iron griddle, and I use that to toast my serving of nuts and seeds. Okay, and to that I'm going to add the whole masala or whole spice blend, which is cardamom, black pepper, and some cloves. That is going to jump in there. And I'm going to add, what else? Oh, the tamarind juice. How can I forget the tamarind juice? Okay. So we'll try to, oops, no, hold on. Here. Okay. There goes tamarind juice in there. Now tamarind is a tropical fruit used in Mexican cuisine, Spanish cuisine, and of course a lot in southern and western part of India. It is sour, okay? It's tangy, but it has very unique flavor. If you don't have tamarind, no worries. You can replace it with lemon later on. However, if you have a chance to buy some tamarind, now you get tamarind pulp very easily in Asian stores and Chinese. A lot of time, Chinese stores, Korean stores, you will find tamarind because they also use it in their cuisine. In here, I'm going to add just a little bit of water. Okay. Now, talking about water, I am going to start heating up some water in here because we are going to need some hot water to add it to our curry. Okay, so I'm going to blend this into a fine paste. Like I said, this is our secret to having a okay. This is it. It looks done. It looks all pasty, thick paste. So I'm going to move my magic bullet from here and create some space for you guys. Okay, all right, I'm back. Cooking lemons are so much fun, actually. Okay, I'm going to make sure that you guys can see the skillet because now all the fun is going to happen in this skillet. Okay, so like I said, the onion, garlic, and ginger paste is been cooked in the skillet. We are going to add the coconut, sesame seed, peanut, and tamarind paste to this base mix. Now, in case you have nut allergies, okay, no worries. You can use pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds. Okay, you will get same end result. Now, it is often said that we need fat to bring out the flavor of the spices. That is correct. The some of the components which give flavor to food from that spice is fat soluble. But that doesn't mean we need to add the oil or butter or any of the man-made fat, we can definitely use this oil from the nuts and seeds to extract the flavor out of our spices. So I have added the nut and seed paste to our onion paste. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit, and it's going to get cooked for some time. Okay, we'll continue to cook until you start seeing a little bit of oil separating in this mix. Okay, so far guys, we have not used any oil, which is great. Now right now this mixture looks dull. No worries, it's going to look very colorful in a minute. I'm just allowing the nut paste, seed paste to kind of mingle with the base sauce of onion, ginger, garlic. I must say, the smell here, the aroma here is making me get ready for my lunch. So I'm super excited because this is what I'm going to be eating today for lunch. What do I need? Yes, I need a spatula to get all the nut paste out of this blender. I love this silicone spoons and spatulas. They are so handy and so easy to clean. Reduces waste because, as you know, I hate wasting. 40% of our food in the United States is been wasted just because we are a little picky, which is not a good statistic. 40% is a lot of food. Now you can technically use this paste, this gravy with any other vegetable. But like I was saying, traditionally, this particular combination of spices and with the tamarind in it is used for a special curry that is very famous in southern part of India. It's called Bagara Bangan, and the traditional recipe uses small eggplants, and they stuff the eggplant with this masala and then cook everything down. But I am just, I try different things. I want to make sure that these techniques, these recipes are accessible to everybody. So I don't want to get stuck in not having small eggplants. Anyway, now the real party starts now. All those spices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 spices are going to jump in with the paste that we made with those nuts, seeds, and the cardamom, clove, and black pepper. In goes this spice. Okay, this is perfect. You see it now? That turmeric root and the blend of spices is everything when it comes to making good recipes. Oh my goodness, now the aroma has just gone to a completely different level. It's, gosh, whoever came up with the concept of grinding spices and blending was a genius. Can't wait to have my lunch today. And this is a perfect recipe or a dish to have when you are in the mood for something creamy something just craving spicy, little tangy, because remember the tamarind is in there. Okay. Now I understand the setup is a little elaborate. You do need X amount of spices, but let's say you don't have all those zillion spices that I talked about. You can replicate the recipe by using garam masala. Okay, which is great. Just make sure that you are making the gravy with coconut and some seeds or nuts. Now, just to add little more flavor and moisture to this curry, I just sprinkle some vegetable broth. That's all. Okay. I'm going to keep sprinkling the vegetable broth. And now this curry looks nice light brown, golden yellow in color. And that's the color we want. It's really looking flavor, looking just nice and creamy, and the flavor I think is going to be wonderful. Oops, I forgot to add some salt. Now salt is of course optional if you are dealing with, like I said, very severe coronary artery disease, very high blood pressure, then the salt is optional. You don't have to add salt. I'm going to add just little. So I'm just going to add, talking about little, I don't even have too much salt in my salt container. So because some of the vegetable broth also has some salt. This is coming together really well. Okay. Again, all this without any added oil. We are literally riding on the real flavor of all the vegetables. The onion, the garlic, ginger, those five different spices: cumin, coriander powder, fenugreek powder, cinnamon, and cayenne, and turmeric. In the onion garlic paste also had some tamarind and black pepper and clove and cardamom. You know, cardamom also adds unique, nice sweetness and to this curry. Okay, so all these spices kind of are going to give you that flavor in the background. Okay, this curry is not super spicy. I haven't made it spicy. I don't need to make it spicy. Curry doesn't mean that it needs to be spicy. It's all about flavor, and spice is one of the flavor, but it's not the flavor, right? All the flavor is going to come from different spices. So hot water is ready, which is great, because now it's time to add remember the eggplants that we infused with the vegetable broth. That's going to go in here. Perfect. Okay. And you know what? I forgot to add one ingredient. It's not a big deal. I forgot to add bay leaf. But bay leaf is usually added towards the end. So no big deal. I will add it because this curry is now going to simmer along with the eggplant for a few minutes. Okay. So now I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit and add some hot water. The reason I'm adding hot water and not the cold water is because it just helps maintain the temperature of all the ingredients together. Okay, suddenly if you add cold water, it kind of shocks the system here. Okay, I'm going to actually add more hot water. And yeah, and then it just adding cold water sometimes changes the flavor drastically. So anytime I'm adding water to curries or soups, I always make sure that it's super hot. Here we go. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some hot water to my to the magic bullet jar and kind of rinse that so that we can get all the goodness from it. Perfect. Look at this. Cleaning is done. I am all about efficiency in kitchen because everybody's life is busy. We don't want to, or we don't like to get into recipes which are going to take forever. So let's do this. I'm going to add some more water, and that's the end of that 1 cup of water. It's going to, looks like a nice day outside because I see a lot of kids playing, which is great. It's kind of getting boring to sit at home 24/7. Can't wait for spring. Anyway, so this curry, I'm going to cover it and it's going to hang in here for, I know, another 5-7 minutes. Or one way to check obviously would be to make sure that the eggplant is cooked, right? So I'm going to allow it to cover it and cook on a very low flame, okay, for a few minutes. All right, so with all said and done, at the end, I have this nice, creamy, yummy, bursting with flavor, the eggplant curry in a very nutty sauce. I'm just going to sprinkle some cilantro on top and have it with some homemade bread. You can have it with some rice, millet, quinoa. I mean, you know, once you have a nice hearty bowl of curry, what more you need, right? So this is my today's creation. Again, this is the eggplant curry in a nutty sauce without using any oil. As you can say, it does not affect any flavor, color, or any concept whatsoever. So I do want you guys to try it and send me your question because I forgot to tell. What inspired me to do this curry is a question from my patient, and he said he loves Indian food, wants to try using eggplant and likes curry. So I said, how about I make him a creamy curry using eggplant. So here I am. This is how it looks. It's yummy. Enjoy. Until then, thank you for joining us, Nutritionist Deepa, and keep those questions and comments coming.